I'm Elizabeth Larkam with Balanced Body Pilates, and I made up this movement sequence, for my 7 a.m. Advanced Allegro class clients. I noticed that all of the movements we were doing required having very precise alignment of the hip, knee, ankle, and foot. It's really important to give the core some legs. So this sequence starts seated on the foot bar. There's only one red spring attached here. As you exhale, make the longest distance from your hip joint to the sole of your big toe. Draw your kneecap up towards your hip joint and put a force of adduction on your leg, meaning draw your thigh towards your midline. Inhale to bend. On the exhalation, abdominals activate as you send your leg as far away as possible. Keep the tone in your quadricep muscle at the very beginning of knee flexion. Now change from the heel being over the carriage to the sole of the toes and the ball of your foot over the carriage. Make sure that your heel can go below the spring without interfering with the spring. You could change up the breathing here. Exhale to send your foot away with dorsiflexion. Lower your heel towards the floor. Inhale to rise, send your toes away. Exhale to lower, and inhale to bend. Once again, as you inhale, slide the carriage forward. Exhale to lift your heel, aligning your ankle over your toes. Lower your heel and bend your knee, keeping the tone in the quadricep as long as you can. Now, after doing this with both legs, both sides, paying attention to perching high on your sitting bones on the foot bar, it's time to take this same leg sequence into standing. I should just mention that if you have clients that are not comfortable sitting on the foot bar, and really, who is comfortable? It's rather an acquired taste. I'd suggest that you get the foot bar out of the way and sit on a box instead. Okay, now when you change to standing, lighten the spring resistance. Change to a blue spring, I recommend. And now stand next to the carriage, near the foot bar, so that your heel can be over the edge of the carriage. As you inhale, slide the carriage forward, maintaining your central axis, so be vertical here with your pelvis level and steady. As you exhale, slide forward, so you'll move your whole axis on a diagonal from your ankle. Inhale to bend your knee steering over your toes, and exhale to arrive vertical. Here we go. Inhale to slide. Exhale to glide. Inhale to control the bend, and exhale to come to vertical. Oftentimes, I suggest to my clients that they put their hands on their pelvis, or a favorite new hand position, the pads of your fingers at the corners of your pubic bone, your thumbs at your navel, so that you can feel that the facing of your pelvis remains steady, no rotation here. Then you glide forward. Bring the pubic bone a little bit forward as you bend, and return. After practicing this in the sagittal plane, it's time to change to the frontal or the coronal plane. I don't say that in class. Now put your heel over the corner of the carriage, and both legs are in external rotation. Stand your ground on this supporting leg, and then this leg has the intention of spiraling out into space, spiraling away from your hip joint, standing vertical here. Inhale to bend, to glide further. As you exhale, steer your knee over your toes, keeping the tone in your quadricep, and then return. Again, either your hands can be at your pelvis, aiming this sitting bone down in the direction of the floor. Glide, steering your knee, having the intention of spiraling this gesture leg, this moving leg. Or you can place your thumbs at your navel, feeling the deep abdominal tone, and that the pubic bone stays level, just like a carpenter tool. Now, after we do these three sequences, seated, standing facing the carriage, standing with side to the carriage, it's time to move towards hip extension. Change the spring. Go for a red spring. And here we go. Let's see. Probably this side will be fine. Starting in a neutral pelvis, neutral spine, slide to hip extension, continue into the lunge, lift the whole abdominal wall, the back of the abdominals coming to the front of the spine, stand your ground, with the spine parallel to the ground. Send the sole of your heel as far away as possible from the back top of your head. As you exhale, draw the abdominals up. Continue this action in vertical. As your thigh goes back, have the idea that the femur internally rotates, bringing your sacrum forward, and then continue to explore the lateral line, side bending in this direction, side bending towards the moving leg, and then moving into spine extension, chest bone up towards the ceiling. Finally, finish with a stretch. Lower your back knee. Shift towards a supporting leg. Put your hand on your knee and rotate, turn around your axis, bringing these ribs, this lung around. Rotate. See your heel right back where you put it. And then change to the new side. Press your forearm, your elbow forward, and turn your new side around, ribs and lung. Turns around to see the same heel from a different perspective. Who knew you could see your heel from both sides? Do let us know your responses, and do sign up for a course or a workshop for a lot more detail.